Hi, folks. My name is Amit Jain, and on behalf of Roadz, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar on what fleets want in 2021. Over the next 45 minutes, you will hear from three speakers, Clement Dsiscoll, Ran Mayroz, and myself. Quick intros. So most of you probably know Clem, right? He's a well-recognized analyst, speaker, and a domain expert in our field. Over the past 20 years, he has served on many boards and directed the marketing efforts of a lot of technology providers in our space. I'm sure you have either read his research or seen his articles in many of the industry magazines like Automotive Fleet. Ran, he's the CEO at Roadz, and he is a technology entrepreneur at heart. He has led innovation and product for large-scale data systems, including a well-known technology unit of the Israeli intelligence, and was the product and strategy leader at Micronet. I am the COO at Roadz and bring 20 plus years of experience in IoT and connected fleet space in various capacities. I was the chief architect of Verizon's mobile resource management strategy, which led to the creation of Verizon Connect, where I led strategy, business development, and product innovation teams. So in terms of the agenda, first, Clem will share his expert opinion on the trends, challenges, and issues guiding fleets' buying decisions when it comes to fleet management solutions, followed by Ran and myself. We will also share what we have learned from fleets, analysts, and solution providers on what such companies should do to achieve growth and customer retention in 2021, and how Roadz can help the solution providers achieve these goals. As you all know, a lot has changed in the last 12 months, and the fleet management industry is not different. It is undergoing a huge paradigm shift as a result. So unless the fleet technology providers adapt their solutions and go-to-market strategy approaches, they will struggle to remain relevant. Before I hand it off to Clem, just want to make sure process check. If you have any questions, please click on the Q&A button on your panel and on your screen, and you can submit your questions. We will address the questions at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, Clem.
Thank you, Amit. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. The first slide here is just a little bit of background on my company and what we do for those of you who may not know us. So we've been in business, CJ Driscoll & Associates has been in business for over 20 years, doing consulting and market research on GPS and wireless products and services for both commercial and consumer markets. These days, our main focus is commercial telematics. We have done and continue to do industry reports and syndicated marketing research studies for the industry. On commercial telematics, we have done a lot of work over the years on consumer telematics, and we've done a number of international studies on Mexico, South America, China, and other markets. We do all types of market research, including market analyses and assessments, and primary research with focus groups, telephone surveys, online surveys. We've done those. Some of the telephone surveys have been syndicated studies that we've done with sponsors from the industry, including many of the names you would know. We do strategic and M&A consulting. Our clients include major suppliers and throughout the value chain of commercial telematics. And our research data has been quoted on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, in Business Week, Fortune magazine, and many other publications, general interest publications, as well as industry publications. Okay, Amit. Okay, so competition is intensifying, with both new and well-funded and established players in the ecosystem. So we have some new players that have grown at a very fast rate. And examples shown here are Samsara with 1.1 million units in service globally, and Keep Truckin', focused on the trucking sector, mostly in North America, has about 400,000 units, and that's just over the last few years. So they've grown fast. New categories of players in the value chain are becoming more important, and that includes OEMs, vehicle OEMs, fleet leasing companies, insurance carriers. They're all getting involved in telematics or have been involved for some time, but that trend is continuing. Churn is becoming more of an issue. The market is really pretty mature, and about say over 50% of new customers for most TSPs are companies, fleets that they acquire from another competing TSP. So the greenfield opportunities are declining, and it's tough. You got to stay competitive with features, functions, service, and all in order to hold on to your business and in order to acquire new business, because the majority of it you're going to have to acquire from competitors. They have to have a reason for changing. Fleet management services, even the more sophisticated ones, are in a sense becoming commoditized. Everybody kind of, if some major player comes up with some new solutions, new applications and such, it's likely that others are going to follow them and come up with their own versions or the same versions. Customers, therefore, are expecting more technology and more return on investment, and more integration with other solutions. The ARPU for basic fleet management services, and I think most of you know this, it's a fact of life that there's downward price pressure, which is a function of a maturing market. So how do you protect your revenues, protect your subscriber base? Well, in terms of revenues, you can upsell to your existing customers. A really good example of that is video in the last few years, which has generated a lot of revenue for many companies in the industry. Almost everyone offers a video-based solution, and it's become very hot and really across the board, not just trucking, but other markets as well. Faster product introductions and new services are essential for fleet customers and service providers. Service providers need these to keep their customers satisfied and not going out and looking for other solutions that will give them more bang for the buck. And achieving increased profitability requires new strategies. You need to be able to reduce your development costs and get to market faster. So an open system architecture for fleet management is getting traction. More companies have launched marketplaces with solutions that are already that they've already integrated with their solution, which makes it easy for their customers to pick the solutions that are of interest to them and become aware of new solutions by going through the marketplace and saying, this might be interested. I think I'd like to try it. So companies like Geotab is kind of a pioneer in marketplaces in this industry, and Samsara has followed along, and Keep Truckin'. These are all examples of large players with marketplaces. Geotab has increased its investment in its marketplace and has gone global with it. And Webfleet, formerly TomTom Telematics, which is the largest TSP in Europe, has expanded their marketplace globally. Commercial fleet OEMs like Volvo, Daimler, and Navistar have also launched open marketplaces. So it's becoming a trend not only for TSPs servicing the local SMB markets, but also for OEMs. But even TSPs and OEMs can't do everything. It's going to drain them if they try. Engineering, they have limited engineering, most of them, and putting engineers on projects like integrating new features and functionality, new solutions is costly. And so it's the engineering, product development, and business development that are issues if you're trying to do it all yourself. If you take a look to the right of the slide, this is an excerpt from an article in FreightWaves, a trucking publication from last September, and I just wanted to point out a couple of comments. The open platform, I'm quoted in this, the open platform concept seems to be getting quite a bit of traction. It was a comment that I made to them. They were largely focused on the subject of open platforms in this article. And then whether it's for trucking or other types of service fleets, the idea of an open platform and easy integration of multiple apps is gaining steam. So those are some of my comments a few months ago, and that's just continuing to be the case, and open platforms are growing. Okay. So this slide is from a survey that my company conducted in 2019, and it was sponsored by 17 major players in the value chain, and Geotab and Teletrack and quite a few others. We publicize the names on our website. So one of the questions that our sponsors asked us to include in the survey was, would you rather subscribe to a GPS fleet management platform that offers a broad selection of applications from third parties? Or would you prefer to develop your own fleet management applications, or take fleet management applications and do your own integration into your GPS fleet management platform? And as you can see, nearly 3/4, 73%, said they would rather subscribe to a GPS fleet management platform that offers a broad selection of applications from third parties, i.e., a marketplace where you can pick what you want, and it's really already integrated, or can easily be integrated. So, okay. Fleets want a wide range of solutions. So this again is the chart you see on the right is from a survey, a multi-client survey we conducted in 2017, sponsored by 19 companies in the industry, and most of them large players that you would know. And they also contributed questions, and that's a list of, in the chart, of some of the features, functions, solutions that we tested. And those that are listed were given a rating of 4 or 5, meaning either very interested or extremely interested in. So the respondents were very interested in these solutions. The percentage of those who are very interested is shown there. This is a short list, believe it or not, of solutions that you can get today. Thousands of fleet-focused solutions are in the market today, and there are more coming. The majority, 61% of fleet telematics providers believe that fleet management in and of itself is becoming a commodity, making new solutions very important. You have to differentiate. If you don't, then you're just like everybody else, and it becomes a price war. And that's not necessary. Fleets want an easy way to discover. That's an interesting word, to actually discover and integrate third-party technology solutions. So they may not be aware of them, but if you have a marketplace and you have a list of solutions that can be integrated onto your platform, or have already been integrated, then you may be discovering, as a fleet operator, hey, I could be doing this, and I could be doing this, and I ought to try this. There's an expectation by both SMB and enterprise customers that new technology should be available faster. They want it today. They don't want to wait for it. They don't want to wait for it to be developed or the integration to be done by the TSP. An open system marketplace can be critical to service providers for improving profitability. You got to upsell, reducing costs and creating customer loyalty. As I mentioned earlier, churn is a big problem in the industry today. You want loyalty, and you want solutions that your customers can integrate with, and once they're integrated with solutions of value, they're probably not going to want to move away from you. So data-enabled and integrated fleet technology solutions create improved return on investment for fleets and new opportunities for service and technology providers, which is what we've been talking about. There's a significant revenue opportunity for upselling both new TSP services and third-party solutions. So marketplaces often include both solutions of third parties and the TSP's own solutions, and they bring more awareness to the TSP's solutions. Integration across business solutions used by fleets. In a survey conducted by Teletrack Navman in 2019, their respondents put integration ahead of more efficient GPS tracking. They really emphasized we want to be able to integrate with other solutions besides the basic solutions that we have today in our platform. We want to be able to add things without waiting, without a great deal of cost. And also, manual data entry or custom code was used by 70 to 80% of SMBs for integrating their software. So you can see if you're doing it that way, it's going to take time and it's going to be costly to do it. There is a better way. Just, marketplaces offer the opportunity for pre-integrated solutions to be added at a low cost. Well, I'll go to the next one in a minute. No, I won't. That's it. So those are my comments. And if you have any questions later toward the end, I'd be happy to take them.
Thank you, Clem. Thank you for those insights. And we'll come back to you for Q&A. So, folks, you guys just heard Clem talk about what fleets want, right? They want a data-enabled, integrated set of fleet solutions that they want access to today, right? Let's peel that onion. little bit more. And, we, for the past 18 months or so, have also engaged in a lot of dialogue with technology solution providers, fleets, and analysts like Clem. And we sort of have summarized all of that insight into a presentation that we can share with you later on. But really, in aggregate, there are 6 things that these fleets are looking for. There's choice, there's relevance, integration, one-stop shop, single pane of glass, and continuous engagement from technology providers. Those are the 6 basic things that we were able to ascertain after all those conversations that they're looking for. Actually, in my past life, I used to lead a research team at a company called Aberdeen Group, and this is almost 15, 16 years ago. And we used to do a lot of benchmarking surveys. Things at that time that were really important to the fleets was total cost of ownership, return on investment. Those things are still important now. But the 6 things I mentioned are sort of bubbling up to the top, partly because of what's happened in the past 12 months, and partly because of the other trends that are reshaping what these fleets want going forward. So let's look at them one at a time. Choice. So Clem mentioned this also. The fleets, they really want to look at technologies across many categories. Categories ranging from roadside assistance, ELD, camera solutions, predictive diagnostics, field service, routing, scheduling. It goes on and on, right? So they want to be able to look at many, many different categories of solutions from their main system of record for mobile resource management technology, whoever they're using today. And this is actually closely connected to the next one, which is relevance. Choice and relevance. Part of the reason for the choice is because no 2 fleets are similar in terms of what their needs are. We already know fleets vary by size. So there are smaller fleets, micro fleets, SMB fleets, enterprise fleets. They all have different needs and requirements. When you look at verticals, oil and gas sort of a fleet has very different needs than a local service fleet, whether it's plumber or technician or grass service, lawn maintenance, things of that nature, right? Their needs are very different. So choice and relevance are very closely connected to each other. Next one, integration. You heard from Clem a lot about that. Historically, all these third-party point solutions have basically remained in silos, and the data that is generated from those solutions has remained in silos. But this information, the fleets, they really cannot optimize their decision-making around improving their productivity, lowering operating costs, or improving safety and compliance if they're looking at all these information in silos. Take, for instance, predictive diagnostics. Predictive diagnostics by itself cannot function or give insights to a fleet. They need the diagnostics data to be sent from the telematics solutions that exist today. Another example that I always am fascinated by is the issue of actual versus planned routes. So a scheduling application will develop the plan for a day for these fleets, right? And then the GPS tracking or the telematics applications provide the breadcrumbs as the driver goes through during their day. Those 2 pieces of information by itself provide a lot of insight to the fleets. However, imagine the power when you bring those 2 together. So take the actual breadcrumbs for the day and overlay that on the plan that is coming from a different system and provide that insight or delta between the actual versus planned. That is immensely helpful to a fleet manager or a dispatcher or whoever is looking at that data, because they can then see why the driver took a different route. There could be some really good answers for that, but on a regular basis, the schedules for all these applications are optimized based on time travel, distance travel, all those things. So by overlaying actual versus plan, now you can see the delta and then talk to the drivers and coach them if there are certain things that need to be corrected. All that goes to improving the operating costs for a company, right? So the integration allows for much, much higher levels of insights than do data sets in their silos. One-stop shop. So this is particularly relevant for the SMB fleets. SMB fleets, they don't have too many people handling, right? So the owner is wearing multiple hats, doing a lot of functions within the company. They don't have time to investigate what are the right solutions for them, right? Our industry is so fragmented. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of solutions out there. So how is this person who's already, lacking in time to do their day job, be able to find all these solutions? So they're looking for one-stop shop where they can go discover curated solutions. They can try these solutions, buy these solutions, and access these solutions in a single pane of glass, if you will. That leads me to my next point, which is a single pane of glass. Again, one-stop shop, single pane of glass, very connected to each other. In my past, when I was both at GE and Verizon, I used to talk to fleets. I used to actually, when I visited them, I saw people using 3 or 4 screens for all the different applications. Imagine the user experience when you're looking at all these different panes of glass and trying to make quick decisions. It is very, very hard to do. So what the fleets are saying is, allow me to make quick decisions, informed decisions, by giving me all the insights in a single pane of glass. The alerts, the map. Can I see a unified map? Can I see unified alerts? So I can quickly make decisions based on the data from all these disparate solutions that I'm using, rather than going to different screens, having different access credentials and things of that nature. Make it simple for me. I have too much things to do anyways. Make it simple, right? That's the message of the single pane of glass. And the last one that I mentioned, I want to, out of the 6 things, was continuous engagement. So at most of the solution providers, they have limited number of salespeople. And some of the bigger companies that are out there providing these services have literally thousands and thousands of customers. It is absolutely not possible for salespeople to engage on a regular basis with all the fleets. Sure, some of the bigger fleets probably get undue attention from these salespeople, but when you look at the SME fleets, they largely hear from salespeople or other people within the company, whether it's support or client success, every once in a while. So the fleets are saying, we want continuous engagement. We want you to be able to tell us, advise us on a regular basis, not only when the contract comes up for renewal. Okay, so that's in a nutshell. Those are the 6 different things that we ascertain from our research that the fleets want. How to give fleets what they want? Literally all these things that I mentioned earlier are connected together, and you can stitch them together as a part of a unified ecosystem that provides an unlimited, infinite pool of innovation to the fleets out there. So in the next few minutes, I'll ask Ran to share with you how that can be done and how Roadz can help us to accomplish that.
Thank you, Amit. Hello, everybody. My name is Ran. I'm the CEO of Roadz. Hope everybody is doing well today. So we heard from Clem and then Amit about research about what fleets want. And the question is how to give them what they want. And what does it mean? What does it take to give them what they want? If we agree, and I think you heard that with both Clem's presentation and Amit's presentation, that in order to give fleets what they want today, and the market has changed. The market has changed both in the fleet management industry as well as in other industries. Companies are expecting what they're getting in other industries as well as consumers of services. So if we agree that to give them what they want, those points that were covered, it's impossible to do it on your own. And you do need an ecosystem. You do need to provide choice. You need to provide relevance, integrations, all those things that were discussed. The question is how you do that. How do you build an ecosystem? What does it take? So I'll try to cover how Roadz can help with achieving these needs of fleets. Some people, or some companies, Clem mentioned some specific companies in the industries that already started building their ecosystems. They've invested millions in those ecosystems and a lot of time. It takes years to build ecosystems. It needs focus. You can't build an ecosystem kind of a small side project. It doesn't only need a team of developers, product people, BD people. It also requires management focus. So the question is, in order to try and have your own ecosystem to meet the needs of fleets, how do you do that? And can you do it on your own, or do you need to take help from a platform, which is what Roadz is trying to do? Roadz was founded in order to help companies in the fleet management space build their ecosystem in a much faster and quicker way and easier. So let's move to the next slide and see what is Roadz. So Roadz is, we like to call it an ecosystem in a box. So you get your own ecosystem of third-party services around your core in a very easy way. You can see here on the right that we are pre-integrating with solution providers. Some people in our industry call it point solutions or ASPs. There are multiple names, but it's solutions that are from maintenance to routing to fuel cards to fuel management, et cetera, parking. We're tracking actually about 40 categories of services that fleets are using. We pre-integrate with these companies, both on the level of a data platform, data integration, as well as on the level of a marketplace. We onboard them to a marketplace. And then that marketplace can be used to create branded marketplaces for companies in fleet management space, whether these are TSPs, telematic service providers, fleet leasing companies, OEMs, insurance carriers, or safety companies, any other company in the space that wants to have their own ecosystem can use our pre-integrated ecosystem that has both the partners on it already that you can select from. You can select the partners that you want. It has the data integration platform, and it has the marketplace platform, end-to-end marketplace. And you can see below the main cloud, you can see the list of things, and there are many more, but this is the high level points that are covered. And you can see this is an end-to-end marketplace. There are some companies in the industry that put a page of partnerships and call it a marketplace, which is nice, but doesn't allow you to really meet the needs of what fleet wants. The things that fleet want is real integration. It's real end-to-end one-stop shop experience. So to really give the value, you do need a modern marketplace with e-commerce, with free trials, with payment and collections involved in it, customer onboarding as part of it, data integration, etc. So we built that platform with the idea of helping everybody move into that vision that we do believe is becoming more and more urgent of an ecosystem, have your own ecosystem. So let's explore how that ecosystem in a box can help you meet the needs that we discussed earlier. So in terms of choice, naturally, and I think both Clem and Amit talked to that, a marketplace is the tool of choice. That's what marketplace is all about, right? It is offering choice. In the past years, the trend in the fleet management industry has been to select one provider per category. And companies have done that either by developing, let's take routing as an example, you develop your own routing solution, or field service, you develop your own field service, or asset tracking, or driver behavior, whatever it is. You develop one, or you partner with one partner. Either you expose their brand or you white label their solution. And what we have seen with many interviews with industry players is that whenever they offered one solution, which is most cases, the take rates were really low. Whether they built it on their own and invested in lots of resources, or they partnered with one, take rates have been really, really low. So continuing to take only one solution and offer it to a horizontal customer base in many verticals is going to give you very limited results. So the choice is key. That moves us to the next point that we discussed, which is relevance. So how do you give that relevance? The first thing is by choice, but choice is not enough. Companies and fleets want to see not only one solution that is relevant, they want to see the ecosystem relevant to them. So the way we've been working with companies that use our product is to launch for them multiple marketplaces, and each marketplace can be actually designated for a certain vertical, fleet vertical. So you can have one marketplace for the trucking industry, and one marketplace for government, and another for field service, etc. And that marketplace can include both third-party solutions as well as your own features and add-ons that are relevant for that specific vertical. And I think Clem mentioned that a marketplace typically has both your own solutions as well as third-party solutions. So if you gather these around verticals, industry verticals, you can go to a prospect and offer a package that is really designated for them. Same with your existing customers. The next point is the one-stop shop that Amit mentioned, really end-to-end experience, discover solution, try solutions, buy, pay, onboard, access those solutions, all from one place. And one of the things we see is that companies like to use that one-stop shop, end-to-end digital experience, not only to offer third-party solutions, but the benefit of using that to upsell your own features and benefits that are probably features, add-on unit modules that are hidden somewhere in your digital presence. Most of your customers don't discover it. You can use the same platform, end-to-end digital platform, to expose those and get your customers to use them, which increases your value and increases your stickiness. Integration. So, as mentioned earlier, integration takes a lot of work on multiple fronts, not only the technical front, the product, the requirement gathering, the BD. For many companies in the space, integration is a headache. They don't like to deal with it. They have to deal with it because customers ask for it, and customers ask for it all the time. Can you really meet those requirements? Or you tell your customer, sorry, we can't fit it into our roadmap. And if you do take it, how much you're investing in it. So Roadz can help with that. We have actually a standalone integration platform that is both tied to the marketplace as well as we can offer it as a standalone offering that you can use our integration service to help you take that and focus on your core. Single pane of glass was mentioned earlier. We will show you how we look at that. We think that there's a lot of value in presenting to fleets multiple data points in one interface. To build that on your own takes a long time. We can help. We can give you building blocks that you can plug into your portals and your interfaces, into your maps as additional layers, into your dashboards, and provide more data from third parties without having to build it on your own. We'll see that in a minute. And engagement, the last point, how do you keep your thousands of customers engaged on an ongoing basis with a very limited number of account managers? Usually what happens is you meet them again at renewal time, and then they ask you, who are you, right? They've already, before renewal time, They went to Google, they looked at other competitors, they what's new in the industry, and they may take you or may not. Engaging them, giving them value throughout the contract period is critical. How do you do that with limited resources? The advantage of a marketplace and the program that we have is that you use your ecosystem and the resources or your ecosystem of partners to create value through webinars that we host to your customers with your ecosystem, through content about innovation in your ecosystem. So you provide ongoing value from your ecosystem about how to improve fleet management. And that makes you much more valuable to your customers. Let's move. So what I suggest, let's get back to this slide if we have time. Let's do some demos. So Amit, if you want to share your screen and maybe you can talk to the demo of the market.
Yes. Thank you, Ran. So folks, I'll, in the interest of time, I'll be quick in terms of giving the demo. So what you're seeing here is our homepage for the marketplace. We host these marketplaces in AWS. And as Ran mentioned, we white label these for the solution providers, the strategic solution providers who deploy the marketplaces in their own portal. So Complete Telematics is a fictitious company. Think of that as a proxy for anybody hosting our marketplace platform. I'll just quickly show you. So imagine this is the product portal of the host. We call these companies host because they're hosting our marketplace. They simply add a marketplace button on their navigation menu in their existing product portals. And so when you click the button, you're now inside the marketplace homepage. And there's a single sign-on integration in the background. Because we are white labeling this, the look and the feel, the fonts, the pictures are customized to the branding needs of the host who is hosting this marketplace. The fleet customers can come in here and do three things. They can browse these curated solutions that we put on the marketplace, both third-party solutions as well as own solutions that these hosts have, which Ran mentioned earlier for upselling and cross-selling. So they see a huge list of categories of solutions that they can access. So whichever solution category they're interested in, they can go into that and browse the solution. In the interest of time, let me just take you to a solution. Once they browse their solutions, they go into the solution card and they can get details on the solution. So there's a short description, a longer description, and then features and benefits, and a resources section where they can download product spec sheets or marketing collateral and such, right? But once they decide to buy something, they have three options. They can actually apply for a free trial for that solution provider if they choose to offer that. And they can buy the solution either through an e-commerce buy flow, which is represented by the buy button, or if you're a bigger company and you want to negotiate terms and conditions and prices, then you choose request info, which is a lead gen, qualified lead gen buy flow, right? You simply fill out this form, you enter and answer a few questions, hit send, and at that point, the solution provider will get back in touch with you. As you can see, there's a list price here. There's discounts and promotions that any solution provider can offer. So this makes it more appealing for the fleets as they're looking to buy these solutions. Once a customer buys a solution, they can actually access the third-party solution from the single pane of glass. So once you buy a solution, it shows up under My Solutions on the top left. And then with a single click of a button, the customer is now in the partner portal, and they can use the partner solution. See on the top, the favicon is still representing the host. So this creates that impression of the single pane of glass and stickiness, because in the future, the fleets are coming to your product portals, not just to consume your own solutions, but also third-party solutions. So that is really something that goes towards improving the stickiness and ultimately lowering churn. Let me go quickly to show you, I'm not going to go deep into this, but a lot of the plumbing that we have built that Ran was mentioning around billing and collections and the flexibility in terms of how a customer can pay, at what point that the customer gets charged, is all built into this backend administrative portal. And we give an instance of this to all the third-party solution providers and to the host to track what is going on through the marketplace. There's a dashboard here. It shows all the leads and the subscriptions that have come through those marketplaces. You can actually, the solution card that I showed you, basically we have a template here where you just very quickly can copy, paste, drag and drop, create solutions. The leads, when you go into them, they provide all the details as to where the lead is coming from, whether it's a request info, or in case of a buy flow, it is a subscription because the customer has already purchased it. And last but not least, on an ongoing basis, we all know in our industry, there's a lot of changes. Drivers come and go, new trucks are bought and old ones disposed of. So any of those changes that need to be made, this is the portal one-stop shop where our partners come in and they make all the changes and provide insights to us so that we can do the billing and collections. So having said that, let me now move on to a different application that Ron will speak to. And this goes to that unified mapping and unified alerts and such. So Ron, if you may.
Yeah. Thanks, Amit. So we mentioned that, the single pane of glass, doing integration is great, but many customers want to take it a step further. They want to really not only make sure that your data or telematics data or OEM data gets in the hands of solution providers, they also want data from all kinds of third-party solutions being displayed in the context of their core fleet management solution. That can be a TSP, it can be a fleet management or fleet leasing company, it can be a field service company. Any company that tries to create a system of record, wants to be a system of record, needs to bring data from other sources. And how you do that? How do you do it? Do you really integrate and take data from all other parties and visualize each such solution? You may try to do it. Companies have done that over the years. It takes forever. And as Clem mentioned, there are hundreds of solution providers. Actually, we track many hundreds, and it's probably going into thousands. How do you integrate with all that stuff and bring it? Each customer will have different things. So the Roadz platform helps with that. What you can see here is your own map. So a company like a TSP's map, as an example, or a fleet management company's map with routes. And you can see here on the left, there is that line that Amit is pointing to that can actually be configured to be a button wherever you like. This is Roadz application. To really add our application into your map takes a few minutes. It's a one line of code that you post into your mapping application, and that brings our application on top of your map. You can see here company A, company B, company C. Actually, we had their real names. We removed the names so we don't expose, but these are companies that we pull data from into our backend, and that you can visualize on your map. Amit just showed you. You can see the red dots that you can again configure. And if you click, Amit, click and scroll down, you can see this is an example of data, real data that is coming to us from a third-party phone blocking application, and what's called distracted driving prevention. So you can visualize on your map information from such a third-party safety application without having to build it. And you can see here other types of services. You can configure these icons or these visual hints as you like. And the information in each one of them is actually information data that we pull into our backend. So with one line of code, we can add to your customers the solutions they're interested in visualizing on their map, and they can enable it as they want. They can display them, they can see the information. That allows you to be much more sticky. That allows you to be really the system of record for them and provide much more value without having to do neither the integrations nor the visualizations. Another such service that Amit just moved to that sits on the same data lake that we have, that we pull data from, is what we call the unified event log. Now, probably most of you that deal with fleets know that fleet managers, their time is extremely limited and don't have a lot of time to go and look at reports. They like to do management by exceptions. They want to see what's going wrong. Now, today, most of them, their exceptions are coming from multiple systems, multiple websites, multiple companies. They have to track many things. And in order to help them manage by exceptions, we created that log that you can embed into your platform. And that log, if you scroll down, you can see it brings different events from different types of companies that you can track in one place. You can also mark which one of them are alerts that you can want to be alerted to, which others are just events that you can see in your events log. That allows you to go to one place and manage by exceptions. This is connected to the map. So if some of these events are related to a location, you can click on that map icon and see that event in a map. So embedding that events log into your platform allows you to be, again, a system of record where your customers see their entire ecosystem of services in one place. We're working on additional products that are not yet there, not ready yet, like reports, like sophisticated reports that take data from multiple sources. The idea here is to allow you as fleet management companies, TSPs, OEMs, fuel card providers, etc., to be more like an ecosystem, to have your own one-stop shop, one single pane of glass. So these are some of the questions we got and some of the answers. So one of the issues is how to prioritize working with Roadz. Everybody, has a full roadmap, and time is an issue, resources is an issue. Really working with Roadz takes very little effort on your side. To embed the marketplace, to embed what we showed you now, the map, the unified map, and the exceptions log, take no development work. It takes very light IT work on your engineering, no real development work on your side. And we can launch, and we have launched, a marketplace in a few weeks. So really, with very little effort, you can move from depending totally on your own resources for development to really engaging the entire ecosystem and their innovation in order to bring value to your customers. So again, very little work on your side very quickly. There was a question that we got around technical constraints. Again, I mentioned that already, no development work. Ongoing resources. We saw concerns around managing the marketplace. Well, Roadz manages the marketplace for you, of course, together with you based on your preferences. But we onboard vendors, additional vendors that you're interested in, or partners, solution partners into your marketplace based on your priorities. We deal with contracts. You don't have to sign contracts. One contract with Roadz is enough. We deal with contracts with the third-party partners, so you are covered with one contract. Vendor management, we take care of. API integrations. So marketing, we provide marketing materials for you to share with your customers so you give value to them. The marketing materials come from the ecosystem of third-party solutions, but we handle that as well as support for the marketplace. So most, or I would say much more than 90% of the ongoing management resources, Roadz takes care of. And sales teams, some concerns that we heard about, sales teams. Sales teams really need to be focused on selling your core. So is it going to distract sales team trying to sell those other services? So the way we work with companies and with sales team can use the marketplace in two main ways. One is a differentiator. When they go to a prospect, they say, hey, we have that ecosystem. The second thing is when larger customers, larger fleets come with RFPs, you can check more boxes because you have all those partners on your ecosystem that you not necessarily have on your own. You can check more boxes on RFPs. So whenever needed, salespeople can use it. But the ongoing selling of third-party solutions or providing value to your customers is done through marketing, not through sales. And we provide you the marketing materials, the marketing know-how. Again, a marketplace requires expertise. To build your own marketplace doesn't mean you know how to operate and how to market a marketplace. That's what we do. So we help you in that. We give you the materials and the know-how, how to market those third-party solutions to your customers through marketing. And billing, some questions we got around complexity of billing of all kinds of third-party solutions. We have a very flexible billing system that supports multiple business models, and we will support that. And we do collections. By the way, you can do it if you like. If you want to add the charges of your marketplace to your bills, we can provide you the data for that. but most of the companies we work with prefer that we take care of that for them. And then speed to market, again, I mentioned, rather than taking years to build an ecosystem and compete in the market, it takes weeks. Amit, maybe any questions, or maybe Clem, you'd like to add anything?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, Clem, anything you would like to add?
No, I think I covered most of it in the comments that I made earlier. But I mean, I do think this is a direction that the industry is going in. I think marketplaces are just becoming very common. But and the way to get there quickly is not to try to do it all yourself. Building it up yourself, as Ron said, is very time consuming and costly. And so working with a partner like Roadz is going to really speed up the process and thereby reduce the cost a lot and get you up and running with lots of third-party or your own solutions to market and to display. Look at the various things that we can do.
Thank you, Clem. Thank you for being our featured speaker today. I hope everybody got some valuable insights from the presentation. We will send out the recording of this to everybody. So thank you all for joining, and have a great day.